Yo, good people. It's your homie HerbMan. Busting you back inside the head with another hot banger. Boogie, please go tell somebody to go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. Yes, sir. And if you're new to the program, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right, so I am none other than your homie, your neighborhood holistic practitioner, HerbMan. All right. So what we do on the HerbMan show is simply teach people how to heal themselves, and you cannot heal yourself unless you know thyself. So we teach you here about the human frame and the human design, so that you guys can be well on your way to the happiness, wholeness, and the wellness that you so surely deserve. All right. And so what we're doing here, guys, you don't have to pay for anything. This is a free information station. All you simply got to do is pay attention. And how we do that on the HerbMan show is by double tapping that screen and getting us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast. All right. That's what we're going to do. I'll work for my food. You work for yours. Let's go ahead and interact and get this thing popping. All right. So we've been teaching you guys and teaching you guys and teaching you guys. There is no panacea product, but there is a panacea program. And the program is to reprogram you or deprogram you, right? So the reprogramming is the deprogramming. What is deprogramming? Basically, you need to learn how to discharge. You need to get elements of your life in times of your day where you're able to discharge, because what's happening is it's like a boiling pot, and you wake up in the morning, you put the pot on, but by the time 9 and 10 and 11 and 12 o'clock afternoon and 2, 3, just like any pot, that thing gonna be hot and boiling by then. And so you must learn how to discharge the steam of your life. You must learn how to discharge the stress of your life. You must learn how to eliminate, detox yourself throughout a day, not just at the end of a month, not just 3 days detoxing, not just 1 day detoxing, not just every 6 months detoxing. You must learn how to detoxify, discharge, eliminate stress every single day. And I'm not talking about fasting. I'm not talking about not eating. I'm talking about eliminating. Eliminating is different from fasting. Fasting is when you're abstinence from things. That's when you're not partaking in anything. But that's not what you're doing. You are partaking in life. You're living, you're working, you're busy, you're doing your thing. And you need to learn how to discharge, let some of that steam out as you go throughout the day. You can't look. It's just like anything. If you don't let a little bit of that steam out, you are a ticking time bomb. Okay? You are a ticking time bomb. And the things that we do, that we put in that pot, alcohol and smoke and foods and different types of things that we're doing as far as what we're thinking and feeling, all of that is going into that pot under pressure. Okay? That's a pot under pressure. So if I learn how to discharge throughout my day, then I'll learn how to be able to keep myself balanced to where my waters are not chaotic. Okay. So if you guys understand that, put some ones in the chat. If y'all understand that, put some ones in the chat. Welcome, you guys. Welcome. Wake up in the morning. I know it's morning, you guys. Happy Monday to all of you guys out there. Look, it's about 5 o'clock. Okay. So I've already enjoyed Monday while y'all just not getting up. I can tell you that Monday is going to be a good day for you if you learn how to take that and receive that. All right. All right. So it's a good thing about somebody being across the world, because they can show you what the day going to be. So we're coming live from South Africa, live on YouTube, live on TikTok. Go get somewhere, get situated so that you can get this stuff. All right. So what we're talking about today is a daily flow. All right. Somebody put that in the chat. Daily flow. All right. That's what we're talking about today. Daily flow. This daily flow, if you look at it, we're talking about flow, right? The waters. Every time, every situation of your day ain't gonna always be low tide, right? There's gonna be opportunities to where this thing is gonna come and it's gonna increase and it's gonna go down and it's gonna increase and it's gonna go down. And so you always are gonna have moments to where this area right here is okay, and this area right here may be hectic for you. This area right here, you may seem okay, and this area right here, you may seem that it's hectic for you. And this could happen throughout the day. 8 o'clock in the morning, ain't shit going on. Round about 12 noon, everything going on. Round about 4 p.m., you going home. Round about 8 p.m., everything going on in the home. Around about 12 p.m., your ass sleep. So there's always ups and downs throughout our day. Okay, so instead of me going through this and waiting 30 days of all of this, come on, you guys. Waiting 6 months with all of this, come on, you guys. Waiting years for all of this, come on, you guys. Waiting until you're damn near on your deathbed for all of this, come on, you guys. So we learn now today, and I'm glad that this is going to be recorded on YouTube as well. So you guys, if you miss it, you go over there and you subscribe, and you go ahead and start supporting this information. One of the best teachers in health, okay? And I'm not trying to be cocky. I'm not trying to be boisterous. You can ask anybody. I'm one of the best people in health. Why? Because it's a holistic way. So not only do you get the top of preaching when you come here, the top of spirituality, so to speak, but you also get the depths of doctorism. Okay. And I ain't a doctor and I ain't a preacher, but you get both when you come. Why? Because you need somebody heavy endowed in both the spiritual and the physical, because those are the two things that are going to play a role in your health. Okay. So in all other factors. So again, my day goes like this, right? My day is like this. So if I wait a year, if I wait 5 years, 10 years, 30 years, 20 years to eliminate this thing, then you just think about that pot sitting on the stove for 30 years. Think about your pot sitting on the stove for 20 years. Think about that pot sitting on the stove for 5 years. How hot is the pot going to be? How boiling is the pot going to be? How much pressure is going to be in that pot sitting that long? And so therefore, stop trying to eliminate every month. Stop trying to eliminate once a month, every 6 months, and start to learn how to discharge the stress throughout every single day. All right? Every single day. You guys keep tapping, I'll keep talking. You guys keep tapping, I'll keep talking. Okay, so we go through these ups and downs throughout the day, right? So this is the daily flow. Again, in the morning may not be a whole lot of stuff going on. By noon, you're heavy laden with stuff you need to do. By 4 p.m., you may start to drop off with things that you need to do. And then by 8, the home is kind of chaotic. And then by 12, everything is calmed back down and things go. But again, this is the daily flow. And sometimes it's not just this even. Sometimes it's like this, right? You see what I'm saying? Sometimes it's like this. And so when you have these short wavelengths, right? When you have these short wavelengths, that means that your good times is short and your bad times is short, and your good times is short and your bad times is short and your good times is short. So this is more chaos because you got more stuff happening in the same period of time. Right here, less things are happening. It doesn't mean ain't shit happening, but less things are happening. And if this is the same period of time, how many more issues have happened in that hour than in my hour? If this is your hour and this is my hour, then yeah, you got too much going on, Kenpo. You see what I'm saying? You got too much going on. If this is, but see, you're short-lived. This I'm able to live into some of these for a few hours before it get hectic. Some of these for a few hours before. So I'm in my hectic for a few hours, but I'm also in my good stuff for a few hours. But here, the good don't last that long, the bad don't last that long. But I'm constantly going through things that keep this sporadic and keeps it chaotic. Okay? So either way your life looks, you need to learn how to depress, or you need to learn how to discharge what you're going through, because there should be a discharge. Look, even your body biologically, you guys, it discharges, okay? It's going to create a waste from the production of your energy. So yeah, you got a good thing and you got a bad thing that comes out of a good thing. It is what it is. That's the whole part about disposal. A lot of you guys don't understand that, yes, your body is creating energy, right? So you got this ATP production, okay? You got this ATP production. There's nothing that you can do about it because you need this, right? This is your energy to live. Okay. And just like every energy warehouse, just like every other company, just like every other corporation, when you are a business, when you are a home and you are creating energy, then you're going to create waste. Okay. The byproduct of this is a acid waste. Okay, we call it acid ash, right? But it's waste that comes from this. Okay, it's waste that comes from this energy production. So the thing is that since my body is automatically going to allow me to live as long as I ain't dying, I'm a living. So this is going to happen every single day that you are alive. This is also going to happen every single day you're alive. So since this is happening and you want this to happen, you got to be careful about what this. So again, you can't stop the production. What you got to be mindful of is the disposal. Okay, you can't stop the production if you want to live. So what you got to be leery of is the waste, the acid ash. Okay, the waste products. So you got waste coming from your muscles, acid waste coming from your muscles, acid waste coming from the way you think, acid waste coming from your chemical feelings and your chemical composition. You got acid ash coming from everything that's making you live. So the good thing about it is I don't want to stop this. And I don't want to stop the waste that it produced. I just need to be mindful of how to discharge, how to dispose, how to eliminate the things that are going in me that will cause me any harm. So again, this waste, if you don't be mindful of it, this is what you call toxins. Y'all call it, I'm calling it waste, but this is what you call toxins. Okay. Yes, you can get it environmental, but this is also, you can get it internal based on, again, just sheer living. Okay, this is the waste, the toxins. Okay, you know, all of the stuff that you got to do as far as your foods and your diets and all of that stuff is going to produce waste products that you got to eliminate. It's not just about urinating, it's not just about defecating, but it's also about decompressing from the stress. How do I do that when I'm in the truck? How do I do that when I'm in my office? How do I do that when I'm in the warehouse? How do I do that when I'm driving a forklift? How do I do that when I'm on the computer? How do I do that when I work for the government? How do I do that when I work in construction? How do I do that when I work in the hotel industry? How do I do that when I work in the restaurant industry? How do I do this when I'm a post office man? How do I do this when I work at the school? How do I do this when I work here and when I work there? How do I add this stuff into my day, HerbMan? I'm hearing you. I'm feeling you. You telling me that you cannot go through a life of ups and downs without a daily decompression method or without a daily discharge method. Yes, that's what I'm trying to tell you. So most of us, we're going years and years and years without discharging, eliminating, without detoxing the stress of life, the up and down of life. And so therefore, you only really fast, detox, eliminate when you want to lose weight or when you feel like you got an issue. But what I'm saying to you is for a preventative, prevention is cheaper than the cure. So when you guys are looking for cures and you at your wits end, yes, we're going to roll and dial up the numbers on you because you're desperate. But if you're looking for prevention, prevention is cheaper than the cure. So practicality is going to come into how you do this on a daily basis and a daily flow. And we're going to get into that. You guys keep tapping, I'll keep talking. You guys keep tapping and I'll keep talking. So you get this daily flow. This daily flow section that we're going over, you get this in your owner's manual for that little funky, measly $50. We give you this information as well so that you can see how it's going to basically is going to integrate nature-based interventions with your singing, laughing, dancing, and your ability to discharge. Now, the nature-based interventions is going to help you discharge, and the activities that you do within nature or with nature, because it's integrated. That means you're going to go out, outside for most of the stuff that I'm talking about, and you're going to get this thing going. And we're going to show you how this looks like in a day. Okay. We're going to show you what this looks like in a day. So the biggest thing that you want to take out of the daily flow is that it's simple. Okay. Somebody write simple in the chat. Somebody write simple in the chat. The thing that you need to take out of the daily flow is that this is for the average person. This is for the average person. This is for Rico, and this is for May them. This is for Donald Trump, and this is for Donald Hump. I don't know who out there, but my point is to you, anybody can do it. Simple for the average person, getting the maximum amount of effectiveness out of what you're doing. Okay, the maximum amount of regeneration out of what you're doing. So it has to be simple. Okay, simple. We need to understand that simple. Next, it has to be rhythmic. Okay, It has to be rhythmic. Okay, so you have to be in flow. So this is not about singing your lungs out. You ain't trying to be Whitney Houston. This is just rhythmic stuff. This ain't about being no Michael Jackson and coming out here trying to snap, crackle, and pop. You ain't got to do all that. This is just about rhythm. Okay, this is not about being whatever that dude, no, William Huff. You ain't got to be William Huff and do all this old huffing and puffing. It's just rhythmic breathing on your terms, on your rhythm, in your melody, in your frequency, in your melodic tone. It's all about how you produce your music, okay? And it ain't about what you're hearing on the radio. You're not competing with anything. You're integrating your voice, your tone, your energy, your vibration, your frequency is being felt in nature. I don't need to feel it. Don't try to push it on me. Put it out there into the atmosphere. And so this is going to be rhythmic for each and every one of us. Next is going to be elemental. All right, you guys quiet down over there. The next one is going to be elemental. Okay, always making sure that we're adding in the elements which make you up to be the person that you are. That means the mental health department. That means the spiritual health department. That means the emotional health department. And it also means the physical health department of life are going to be touched into this daily flow. We ain't leaving nothing out. And then last but not least, you must have the nature-based intervention. So all right, so it must be nature-based, okay? So now when we're looking at the herbalist, okay, we're looking at the holistic practitioner, we're looking at the naturopathic, we're looking at people who claim to be into this particular industry, but they don't know how to give you any nature-based things to do. They just want you to take their herb that they concocted from somebody books that they read, and then they think that they got what you need, and then there you go, they sell that to you. But that is not alone gonna do it. Herbs alone ain't gonna help you. Medications alone is not gonna help you. You need to understand that the medications and the herbs and the vitamins and minerals are only surface. Okay, they're only band-aids for what you got going on. Matter of fact, without this stuff in your life, then they're only going to be what? Temporary conduits to what you're doing. That means that you're going to always keep coming back for more. I got so many people who left blood pressure medication and still taking blood pressure herbs. You know why they're still? Because they're still the same person. All you did was swap out Peter to pay Paul, but you didn't change Jesus. You didn't change you. You changed from medication to herbs, but you didn't change you. You changed from this way of eating to that, but you didn't change you. So you're still gluttonous, even in veganism, you're gluttonous. That's why you're big as hell. You went from not eating meat to eating sugars and carbs all day long. So you still are unhealthy, even though you don't eat meat. Whoop-de-doo. Right? So we must understand that you need and require more. Even if I was a doctor, you needed this. Even if I'm an herbalist, you need this. So I'm not just saying that herbalists need to know this. I'm saying anybody that is dealing with me on my health needs to know holistic understanding of what merges, integrates, and put the pieces of me back together again. Right? So that's what this is. It's system. It's it's simple. It's rhythmic. It's elemental. It's nature-based. Okay, that's what this is. So what do we do in the morning? Okay, somebody put morning down. You guys keep tapping. I'll keep talking, Carolina. If you're looking for help, please DM us and get the owner's manual, and we can help you. Okay, get the owner's manual. We can help you. This is not a SOS. All right, but if you are wanting help, needing help, do the necessary things that you need to do. Again, once you get this little owner's manual, you got your health into your own hands. All that worrying and anxiety and depression y'all got going on, stop that. Order what you need to order, get it in your hand, and let us lead you to the path of wellness, okay? Period. There is no panacea product. There's a panacea program, and we got that program. It's the Honest Man. Okay, so in the morning, you got your daily flow in the morning. The first thing that you must think about when you wake up is not wake and bake, but wake and hydrate. Okay? The first thing that you must think about is not wake and bake, but is wake and hydrate. Okay? Wake and hydrate. Wake and hydrate, right? Because you need this light activation, right? When you wake up, okay, you want to wake the biophotons. You want to reset the circadian rhythm. Okay? You want to get your prime hormones ready. You want to oxygenate your fluids. How do we do this? Wake and hydrate. Okay? And this is only going to be about 0 to 5 minutes of your day. Ain't taking nothing from you, right? You're going to need about 12 to 16 ounces. Okay, 12 to 16 ounces of warm mineral water. That means your water has to be structured. This ain't alkaline water in the bottle. If it's spring water, you got to know it's spring water. I can't tell you what spring water is real in a grocery store because I wasn't there when they made it. When I was in America, I was going to get my spring water from the spring. When I was in America, I was going to get my water from the spring. So I don't know what bottled water is good because I wasn't drinking that shit. I was going to get my water, fetching my water, and I knew what that was living structured water. So just don't overestimate this, okay? You need warm mineral water. Okay? Warm mineral water. Now, a lot of you guys in America, I'm sorry, y'all don't got it. And it ain't, you know, it is what it is. But over here, okay, so you got these little plastic bottles here. See, still natural mineral water, okay? Well, I don't give a damn about you telling me all that. Okay? I don't care nothing about you telling me all that. That's what I care about. Tell me all that. Okay? That's what I care about right there. Okay? Tell me all of the stuff that you got in here, right? So then I know that then it's a little life, or it used to be a little life in it, depending on when you got it. Okay, so we need 12 to 16 ounces of warm mineral water in the morning. Okay, and then we're going to add a pinch of sea salt. Okay, this is where the sea salt comes in. Then, okay, this is where your sea salt, your Irish moss. This is where your chlorella, your spirulina. This is where whatever you got with this from the sea salt. This is where that comes in, okay? And then we're gonna add this with a little lemon, okay? But this is warm mineral water. This ain't room temperature. This is warm mineral water. Room temperature water is still cool to the body. Your room temperature is between 60 to 80 degrees for most of us, but your body is 98.6. So therefore, if you touch somebody with a 60 to 80 degree thing that's 98.6, is going to feel cool to them, right? Because 80 degrees is cooler than 98.6. So therefore, you want to warm it up and sip on it, right? Hot to warm mineral water, and you sip on it. This ain't just about trying to drink some shit. It's about moving and getting these waters to start to do what? Calm and receive the light, removing the obstructions and allowing instruction to come in. That's what this is all about, okay? And so then also we're going to add in a little bit of deep breathing here, okay? We're going to add in a little bit of deep breathing here, okay, for about 1 to 2 minutes. Nothing strenuous, okay? Nothing strenuous, okay? Nothing strenuous. And you'll understand why this is very, very important. And the reason why this is very important, because right here in this morning section right here, then what we just did was reset the cellular voltage. Now, I know y'all don't know nothing about cellular voltage. You don't know nothing about millivoltage, and you don't know that your cells operate between 70 to a negative 100 millivolts. I know y'all don't know nothing about that, right? I understand that you don't know nothing about that, but you must know that that's what's going on inside your body, okay? Again, I'm one of the best on the planet when it comes to this shit, all right? But I try to make sure we stick to the program, not using my intelligence, but using the intelligence of nature to help us, because I don't know y'all. I just know me. And because I don't know y'all like that, and I may not even have the time of the day to know y'all, then I got to know something that knows you better than you know you. What knows you better than you know you is not your parents. What knows you better than you know you is not your brothers and sisters. What know you better than you know you is not your spouse or your children. What knows you better than you know you is not me. It's not the doctors. It's not your therapist. It's not your psychologist. What knows you better than you know you is not your great grandparents and your community and friends. What knows you better than you know you is nature. And we need somebody to go to nature to uncover and unravel the hidden parts of us that we don't like to talk about. We lie to our doctors, we lie to the judge, we lie to the police officer, we lie to our spouse, we lie to the children, we lie to the teacher, we lie to the mama and the parents, we lie to everybody. So then why would I use that? Why would I use that information while you're in that state to try to help you? How could I use that information when you're in that state to help you? So we're going to bypass what you offer to strangers, and we're going to get to know the real nuts and bolts of who you are. And so that's why when we do the What's Ailing You episodes, you'll see people crying on the live. People are getting over their situation. Hell, I'm crying on the lives. Why? Because we're actually able to break through what the pastor couldn't do, what the psychologist couldn't do, what the therapist couldn't do, what the friend couldn't do, what the mama couldn't do, what the spouse couldn't do. We're able to do for that individual. Because sometimes your wife ain't telling you everything, husband. And sometimes, wife, your husband ain't telling you everything. And sometimes, mama, your children ain't telling you the truth. And sometimes, children, your parents ain't telling you the truth. You must understand the human factor. And when you understand the human factor, then we need to have somebody that can bypass our defense mechanisms so that they can really help us. They can really help us. Okay? So that they can really help us. So I say do this in the morning, you guys. This one right here, I'm going to say do this first thing in the morning, right? So 6 to 8 a.m., okay? 6 to 8 a.m. is the wake and hydrate, all right? 6 to 8 a.m. is the wake and hydrate, okay? And this is going to start your day, right? You started your day good. You got your body flowing. You got your gut flowing. You're going to boo-boo when you do this, right? So if y'all got a problem with boo-booing, when you take that little warm mineral water, add a little sea salt and lemon, trust me, you ain't gonna worry about no boo-boo. And the lemon and everything starts to create the digestive gastric juices to flowing. So if you eat after this, your body is ready. Okay? If you don't eat after this, your body is ready. Right? Because when you put that lemon into that sea salt, into that mineral water, what you just did was created what? Structured water. When you squeeze a lemon inside of mineral water with a little pinch of sea salt, you have just created structured water. That water is living. That's the kind of water you need to drink. Okay? You just created that, and that just reset your cellular voltage. All right? So then the next thing that we can do here, okay? And this is when you want to start, you getting ready for work, you're about to go outside. Before you crank up the car and get in it from the garage, before you do whatever, we want you to take a little moment to bask in what the day is bringing, okay? So this is that sunlight exposure between 8 and 10 a.m., right? So this is going to be 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. This is when I'm about to get ready to go, okay? So when I do this one here, this is going to be my sunlight exposure. You guys keep tapping, I'll keep talking. You guys keep tapping, I'll keep talking. So all we're going to do is either go outside or we're going to get near an open window. Okay, get near a window where the sunlight is coming in. You can wheel yourself there. You can roll yourself there. You can drag yourself there. You can crawl. You can do whatever you got to do, but you got to get there. Okay, you got to get there. Right? So that's what we want to do. You guys, hold on real quick. Let me make sure my YouTubers are in the building. I just went. What's good for clogged arteries? Yeah, that's a lot of different herbs good for clogged arteries, Sonia. So all you got to do is just DM me, and we'll get you what you need for clogged arteries, okay? All right? So there's a lot of great herbs for clogged arteries. DM us, and we'll get you what you need for that. That particular herbal blend is $35, okay? $35, you get a monthly supply. And then when you get that month supply for that 30 days, just take it as much as possible. Take it 2 or 3 times a day for at least 9 days, and then let your body rest and see what happens with your arteries, okay? Go back to the doctor, do whatever you got to do, but DM us and we'll get you that information, all right? So outside or near a window is how I'm going to get this sunlight, right? Outside or near window, okay? Is I'm going to get my sunlight exposure, okay? And then what I want to do is I just want to allow my face, my chest, or whatever body parts that I can literally give I want to allow that to get as much sunlight as possible. My forearms, I know a lot of times we wear a lot of clothes. So if this is a great time, if you ain't outside, great time to just get it bucket. You already just woke up. Go on and get it bucket. Just get bucket and just get it, right? Put it in all the places you ain't never had it before. I mean, put it in all the cracks and the crevices and just get it, right? Because you need this in the face, chest, forearms, your private areas. Why? Because this is going to do what? When you do this right here, right? When you put your body parts, okay, getting this sun exposure. So we're not just talking about, you thought I was just talking about going outside with your clothes on. No, this is, you ain't even left work yet. And you're doing these things to get you productive for work, but then you're also doing these things throughout your work day to discharge from the stress of work. So you need something to get you productive, and then you need something to keep you. Remember that when you're productive, you're creating waste. Come on, y'all, remember this. When you are productive, ATP production, that's in your body, but you got to produce too out in your life. So you are producing. So you got to get something to create the production. And then when you do that, you must know that you're creating waste. So you got to, throughout the day, eliminate, discharge the steam from the working machine. Okay? And so this is going to increase your serotonin. This is going to increase your nitric oxide. This is also going to increase your cell voltage. Once again, all right? So sunlight exposure, face, neck, chest, arms, okay? You know, I'm going to put it right here. Bucket. Okay, bucket. Bucket. Okay, bucket. Y'all know the word, right? So the more skin that you can expose before leaving for work is what we want to do. You ain't even left work yet, but you're cranking up the system. This is from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now, I know some of you guys are already at work at this time, so you push it back to your schedule according to what you got going on, right? According to what you got going on, you do that. But don't let the job push these things out. You start to infiltrate these things in your work life. Don't y'all keep letting getting to the bag push things out. That's why I'm trying to tell you, how can you keep going through this every day and every day without detoxing, without discharging? We can't do that, y'all. You see that shit killing us. It's literally killing us because we don't have the amount of times and opportunities to discharge. You can't wait till that little vacation. That vacation only gonna let out a little bit of steam, and then you back on the pot boiling. And them folks ain't gonna give you nothing but a week vacation. 2-week vacation is not enough. So therefore, you must learn how to do this every day. And there's nothing that they can do about it. Okay? There's nothing that they can do about it. Number 3. Okay? Number 3 is where we come in with our humming or moaning. Okay? Humming or moaning. Ladies, don't do the moaning that you're doing with your husband. Now, we don't want that kind of moaning. Moaning is just like humming. Okay, now they used to call it moaning in the old church, but it ain't nothing but humming. Okay, it ain't nothing but humming. You call it moaning or whatever, but we can call it moaning and humming. I need for you to do this, okay? And I need about 30 to 60 seconds of this. Okay, I need about 30 to 60 seconds of you moaning in the morning. Okay, just a little gentle humming, a little gentle vowel tones. You can do this when you're in the shower. Okay, why? Why do we need to do this? Because this is where we start to vibrate the vagus tone, the vagus nerve. Okay, this is where we start to get that light into that structured water that we just drank. Okay, and also this is going to help structure the water that we just drank. Okay, this is going to open up the lungs. Okay, this is also going to clear emotional residue from the sleep. What? This is going to clear emotional residue from the sleep that you just woke up from. Humming and moaning clears the emotional residue from the dream, from the nightmare, from the sleep. So this means that this is perking you up. This is the coffee in the morning. This is Folgers in the morning, and you ain't even drank coffee yet. Okay, so that's what we want to do. 30 to 60 seconds of this right here, and then we're in the money. Number 4. Okay, the number 4 thing we want to do is a little bit of movement, right? So remember that this is for everybody. So we're going to do a little light movement. Okay, a little light movement. I don't need to do nothing more than 5 to 10 minutes of this. Okay, nothing more than a little 5 to 10 minutes of this. Why? Because this right here is going to, again, you remember that we're getting geared up for production. All right, so by the time I clock in, I am ready. By the time I clock in, I am not yawning. By the time I clock in, I am not low energy, lethargic. By the time I clock in, I don't need no coffee. By the time I clock in, my breath ain't stinking. By the time I clock in, I ain't sleepy and hungover. By the time I clock in, I am so ready. I might have showed up 5 minutes early because I'm ready to work. Because the shit that I'm doing, that I learned from the HerbMan show, saw on YouTube, but the information that I got now is allowing me to get practical things to do to discharge and also create energy and discharge energy as I go throughout the day. And so this light movement is stretching, okay? Grounding barefoot, right? Slow walking, okay? All of this is going to help us in where? It's going to help pump the lymph. It's going to help wake up the interstitial fluids. Okay? And that's what we need. That's what we need. It's also going to help reset your fascia. You need that as well. Okay? Remember that fascia works at the speed of light. All right? And then also number 5 is where the laughing comes in. Okay? Even if you got to fake it, it still works. Okay? Even if you got to fake it, it still works. All right? Short laughter burst. Okay, short laughter burst between 15 to 30 seconds of short laughter burst. Cut on a little comedy in the morning. You're getting ready, cut on something funny, cut on your little comedy. You know, stop being so serious and put on them old love songs and shit in the morning. That shit make you sad. Gospel music make you depressed too. So watch out for some of this melodic, heavy weighted stuff. Don't nobody need no heavy. You know, Jesus, you're the center of my joy. Oh man, look at her. I don't need all of that weight. I don't need to be heavy. I need to be light. I'm finna go produce. I need to be light on my feet. I don't need to be heavy and down. Now, I'm not saying that makes everybody like that. Some people can receive those messages and get motivated. But for the most part, the melody, I'm talking about the melody. When sometimes when y'all put on this music, your husband or your boyfriend are better than hell no. She don't put on the gospel today. I'm gonna go outside. Sorry, hell no. She don't put on the goddamn R. Kelly. I'm gonna go outside now. Cause see, it's a weight that's on the music. So we know what mood you in. So they reverse it so that you can get in the mood you need to get into for work. Not for heaviness, but for lightness, okay? So short laughter burst is going to lighten you. This helps release dopamine, oxytocin, and the endorphins. That's what you need. The endorphins is going to kill the pain. The oxytocin is going to bring in the community, the bonding, the love. The dopamine is going to bring in the pleasure. It's going to bring in the motivation. Okay? Short laughter. So what you call this that I just gave you is the morning element regimen of your daily flow. Okay? Before you leave that house, you need to have been done did some laughter, some movement, some moaning, humming, drink your water, some stretching. You understand me? Before you leave that house. Okay? Before you leave that house, that's what we're trying to get you to understand. So by the time you get this in your body, you are ready, you are geared. And I'm not talking about physically ready. I'm talking about you are emotionally ready. You are spiritually ready. You are physically ready and you are mentally ready. Now we done got on the job. Okay. We done left the house now, man. I can't be at the house all day. So now you know. So what I'm gonna do at the job. Thank you for asking. You guys keep tapping, I'll keep talking. All right, you guys keep tapping. I will keep on talking. All right. So this is going to be, obviously, for most of us, this is when we're at the job. Okay. This is when we are at the job. Okay. So this is when you're entering your productivity. but you must enter it with clarity and vitality. And we would have done that already with the morning flow. Okay. So now you got this focused work block, okay, that you in, right? You got this focused work block that you in that may last about an hour or two. Okay. Focus work block may last you for an hour or two. Okay, 60 to 20 minutes. All right. And so when you got this focused work block, that's when your brain is the sharpest. Okay. That's when you're at your sharpest. So go ahead and do your thing. I ain't mad at that. Do what you got to do. Okay. But then there's going to come a break. There needs to be a break after this focused work block. Okay. You put in an hour or two of good work. You need to come back with a little micro break. Now, you guys are already getting this in the form of lunch breaks, smoke breaks. I'm just showing you what to do with the time that they're giving you. Okay. So this is 45 to 60 minutes for most of us. That's how big your lunch break is. Okay. Now, in your lunch break, you need to choose something to do. You can do 10 jumping jacks. Okay. So let's put that down now. In here, you can do 10 jumping jacks. You don't got to do all of this. Pick one. Okay. You don't have to do all of these. Pick one. Right? You can shake out your arms and legs. Remember I showed y'all how to shake off? You shake off your arms and legs. Why? Because this is the fire element. This is going to get you going. The morning was the air element. This is the fire element. So this is going to get your blood going, get you flowing, get you back going, do your thing. So you can choose to do that. Shake out your arms and your legs. Right? So you got to get up out of that driver's seat. If you're a truck driver, you got to get up out of that desk. If you are sitting there and sitting on the desk, you got to get out of that forklift. You got to do this. They ain't going to do nothing to you for doing this. Now, you may not have the 45 to 60 minutes to do it, but you can still do something. Okay. And then also, if you don't want to do the shake out the arms and legs, you can also do the 3 deep daily breaths. But remember, I do the deep breaths with what I'm doing, and you're going to be able to do it too. If I deep breathe while I'm doing the shake offs, you're going to fire up that body and get that body ready to go. Okay. So you want to choose one of those 10 jumping jacks. Okay. You can do 10 jumping jacks. You can shake out the arms and the legs, or you can do some breathing techniques that's really going to get that blood to flowing. Okay. The third one you're going to do is you need some kind of nature intervention. Okay. You need some kind of nature-based intervention. So I call this the MBIs. Let me just put that like that because I don't got enough room. So the MBIs. Okay, nature-based interventions. This third, okay? So you want to step outside. I got to get outside the building, sir. Just for a little minute, I need to go out here for a minute. And you want to do about 1 to 3 minutes. So I don't need that long to discharge. This is discharging. You see, this don't take long. So I want to step outside. I can go under a tree. I can go by a tree. I can go and touch a tree. I can go and do whatever I got to do around tree, but I want to do that. I also want to smell some fresh air. I want to get out of the air-conditioned space, and I want to get back into the unconditional air and allow my body to readjust back to nature. And then I want some sunlight on my face to wake me up and be able to kind of get. So if I get fresh air in my lungs, sun on my face, if I walk around the parking lot for a minute, if I step outside, if I go up under the tree, hug it, touch it, rub it, lay down beside it, whatever, these things are going to do what? Reset my stress chemistry. Boss just made me mad. So instead of me still trying to work around his ass and cuss his ass out and lose my job, let me step outside. Why? Because this is going to reset my stress chemistry. Why? Because this is going to recharge my biophotons. Why? Because this is going to regulate my body temperature. You see? So you'll understand that these are the things that we can do while we're at work. Focus. Okay, I'm going to put in the work, but when I go on my break, I'm going to do some jumping jacks or something to decompress that way. And then also I can go out, step outside and do everything. And I can do all this at one time. I can go outside, do my jumping jacks, go outside, do my breathing, go outside, do my this and that, and just kill it all in one nutshell. So it ain't like you got to be just acting crazy with this. Make it make sense for your life, but put it into your life. Put it into practicality. Okay? Everybody got that? All right. So now, Let's keep it moving. So that's your fire element, right? That's your midday. That's your mid-morning. So you got morning, mid-morning, midday, and then obviously you got the evening, right? So now we're going on to the midday, right? So this is that earth element coming in, and this is where we need to start to come down, So this is when you're going to bring the body out of the fight or flight, okay? You got to know how to do this. A herbalist is just going to give you their herbs. They're not going to teach you how to do this. They want you to buy from them every day because they trying to get rich and feed their families. And but the herbalist ain't no different than the McDonald's. And the McDonald's ain't no different than the doctor. And the doctor is no different than the therapist. These people, you are paying them for them to know you better than you know yourself. That's ridiculous. It won't happen. Okay? It won't happen because they don't know you. They really don't have the answers for you, but you got the answers for yourself. Okay? So now we're coming into the midday. All right? So when you come into the midday, we got to learn how to bring the body out of fight or flight. We got to learn how to stabilize our blood sugar, and we got to learn how to protect our afternoon hormones. Okay, we already just did something with our morning hormones, but now we got to learn how to protect our afternoon hormones. So again, this is where we're going to really concentrate on bringing the body out of fight or flight and start to stabilize our blood sugar and our hormones in this area, right? So we got to have a balanced lunch, okay? So you got to have a balanced lunch. Okay, you got to have a balanced lunch. Okay, something colorful, okay, with a lot of phytonutrients in it. Something green, obviously, with a lot of chlorophyll, because that's going to have all the light inside of it, right? And then we need something with a lot of minerals, right? Sea salt or fruit, etc., etc. So that's the day. That's the balanced lunch. I don't need to put that up there. Okay, something colorful, something green, and something with a lot of minerals, aka sea salt or fruit. That's what you need for a balanced lunch, okay? Then also number 2, you need to do a nature walk. Real quick. You can walk on the side of the road. You can, whatever it is to get you away from whatever you got to do. Whatever it is to get you away from what you're doing is what a nature walk is to me. You take your butt outside and walk. I walk every morning, you guys. So every morning I wake up, I walk. My old lady be like, where the hell you going? It don't even really matter. You just walking. And you're walking to get that morning air, that morning sun. I wake up in the morning, I do my exercises, my little push-ups, my little squats and stuff, because I'm an old man. I ain't trying to do too much. But I'm going to squat to make sure I can still please my old lady. And I'm going to do me some push-ups to make sure I can please myself and push up myself and be able to do what I need to do. And then I do my walks to make sure I'm pleasing nature. Right? You're always in service to the things that mean the most to you. Okay? So this little 10-minute nature walk, bare minimum, 10 minutes, right? Bare minimum, 10 minutes. So instead of coming home and drink a beer, come home and do a 10-minute walk around the community, walk around the house, okay? These are things that can kind of help us decompress. Instead of coming home and crack the blunt open, put on the walking shoes, okay? Step outside, walk around the building, walk around your block, okay? You can do the park, you can do trees, you can do grass, you can do sunlight, right? Shimmering in the leaves, it don't really matter. We just want you to get this light water energy, okay? So we want to get that nature walk in. Third, what's the third thing that we want you to do? Okay, remember that touch is still there, right? So a little 30-second touch section, a little 30-second touch session ain't bad, because touch is a medicine. All right. So you can do self-massage your shoulders. You can self-massage your shoulders. You can do your hand on your heart, like I showed you guys, and your hand on your stomach. And you can just love on yourself doing our dancing. And now you remember we do our little 1, 2, 1, 2, right? And just start loving on yourself while doing your deep breathing techniques, while being outside. And I would have just done it. And I know they're going to look at you crazy when you're at the work doing this or when you coming home doing this, but who cares? Right? Who cares? When I'm healthy and I'm living long, everybody's going to want to know what the hell you did to do it. And it's going to be these things. Okay? So hand on your heart, hug a loved one. A gentle neck whirl, okay? Touch your face with intention. All of these things will create this touch. Little 30-second touch practice, okay? And get yourself decompressed and discharged. All right? Decompressed and discharged. Hell, I touch myself a lot. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. And get yourself discharged, okay? And so that's going to be the thing that you do to earth and to ground yourself. This is the decompression side of it. That means that this is probably when you're coming from work. Okay, so this is probably going to be between 4 to 6 p.m. That's when you're coming from work, right? Most of us coming from work between 4 to 6 p.m. Some of y'all working at night or whatever you got to do. You just got to fit it into your daily flow, okay? Fit it into your daily flow, all right? And so the next one here is going to be the afternoon. This is our refresh and reset, okay? So this is going to help prevent emotional stagnation. This is going to help keep the fluids moving and maintain clarity, okay? So again, we're going to come back with some hydration, okay? We're going to come back with hydration around this time. And this is going to be between 8 to 16 ounces, okay, of hydration between this time, right? And then we can add the minerals, or we can have mineral water, or we can do this with coconut water, okay? And this is going to help replenish our electrolyte, also keeping you going, okay? Keeping you at a high level of energy, keeping you, see, a lot of people don't know about the daily flow. They don't know about how to do a day of health, what a day of health looks like. Hopefully you guys are getting this in this particular understanding, so therefore we can keep rewinding and we can keep replaying this information over and over and over until we practically get it down packed, okay? So you understand that rehydrating at the end of the day now is going to get you back going again, okay? Get you back ready for the next day, all right? So this replenishes your electrolytes, so you're not drained when you come home, fellas. You're not because you finna eat a big old meal, and so you're already drained from work. You're about to eat a meal that's gonna drain you. Then what you gonna do in the bedroom when you're drained? So you got to learn how to rebuild the machine back up, okay? Also, this is going to be, you're going to need to do a quick emotional clearing because you just came from the day of work. So we know what to do to clear the things from when we wake up out of our sleep. Now we got to be able to clear ourselves of the workday, okay? So you can pick one of these. You can do 1 minute of shaking, the trauma release, right? The arms and the legs, you can do 1 minute of the shakes. Well, let me put this down, okay? You need a quick emotional clearing. Okay? A quick emotional clearing. So you can do 1 minute of the shakes. One minute shaking, okay, will help clear. You can do 1 minute dancing, which will help clear. All right? You can do 20 seconds of deep sighing, which will help clear it. You can do, you can splash some cold water on your face to help clear, or you can do 10 deep exhales, right? Remember that we want to exhale longer than we inhale, and we can do those deep breathing techniques as well to help us with this emotional clearing, okay? So 1 minute of shaking it off, 1 minute of dancing it off, then you can do 20 seconds of breathing it out, or splash some cold water in your face to try to figure out how to clear the waters, okay? So we can do that. I'm gonna put that little cold water on face, okay? And these are going to help us do a quick emotional clearing so that we don't take it out on our children, we don't take it out on our spouse, and we don't take it out on our community, our family, and our friends. And that's what's happening. That's what's happening, you guys. This thing is very stressful on each and every one of us, and we don't know how to talk about it enough, okay? And so the third thing we're going to do is, again, implement the laughing. Okay, these laughing bursts. Okay, we're coming back to the laughing. Okay, so watch or listen to something funny. Watch or listen to something funny. Keep the comedy in your life. Okay, because laughing is the fire and the air, and it clears emotional sticks that block the lymph. Laughing is the fire in air, and it clears your emotional stagnation that's blocking the lymph. Okay? So you must understand this part of it. Okay? And then here we come to the nighttime when you're about to go to bed. Okay, and this is gonna be it right here, and then we're gonna wrap it on up. You guys, if you guys are interested, all of this is in your owner's manual. Okay, the daily flow is in your owner's manual. If you're interested in the owner's manual, please DM us, and somebody will get you that information. Okay, that's all in your owner's manual. So when you do the owner's manual, you guys, we don't need a blood type. We don't need a blood sample. We don't do doctor's diagnosis or self-diagnosis. It's non-invasive, non-intrusive. We're not going to prick you, prod you, or poke you. Okay, you need to understand that all we need is a birthday, and all of this stuff would be in the palm of your hands in a day or so. Okay, in a day or so. All right. So, okay, so now that we're trying to lay it down, we must understand that you can't go to sleep on heaviness. So it must be a light dinner. Okay, it must be a light dinner or nothing at all. Okay, I eat one time a day, and it don't matter when that meal is. That's all I'm gonna have. Okay, that's it. So light dinner, it could be soup, it could be cooked vegetables, it could be leafy greens, but avoid heavy meals past 7 p.m. Okay, a light dinner. Okay, it could be soups, it could be cooked vegetables, it could be leafy greens, but avoid heavy meats. I said avoid heavy meals past 7 p.m. Okay, so that's what we want to do. And now also when we got the light dinner, now we want to get some sunset exposure. We got the sunrise exposure, but we need that sunset. Remember, the sun sets between 6 to 8 p.m. Okay, between 6 to 8 p.m. is when the sun sets. Okay, this right here told you nothing past 7 p.m. Light dinner, nothing past 7 p.m. Sunset exposure. Why do I need sunset exposure? And how much of this do I need? 2 to 10 minutes, if possible. 2 to 10 minutes. Why? Because this is going to help regulate the melatonin, and it's going to help regulate the circadian rhythm. When it starts to get dark, melatonin starts to get produced. Okay, that's why we can't do the TV screens and the cell phones and the light bulbs all day, because it gives a false sense of light to dark, which throws your circadian rhythm off. Okay, and that's why we can't sleep the way we need to be sleeping. Right. The next one is we're gonna still do one more dancing session. Okay, we need to do one more dancing session. Let me put this in red here. We need to do another dancing session. Okay, I don't need nothing about 2 to 5 minutes of this, right? 2 to 5 minutes of this is all I need. I can do this actually while I'm getting my sunset exposure. Okay, I can do this actually while I'm getting my sunset exposure. Right now, you put this daily flow with the right foods, the right herbs, the right mentality, the right understanding of thyself. Man, you 120 years old is gonna be easy for us. Okay, easy for us. So this dancing is going to be slow rhythmic dancing. Okay, slow rhythmic dancing. We're not trying to drop it like it's hot. This ain't the club. All right, so slow rhythmic dancing is going to help release tension from the fascia. Okay, it's going to help move the lymph. Okay, this slow rhythmic dancing is going to help clear emotional residue. It's going to help boost our dopamine and our oxytocin. Okay, so we need that, because that's our love, our bonding, our pleasure, and that's the medicine for that day. Because you're not getting love and pleasure and all of this from your work life. So how you going to get it? You're not getting it from your friends and family. How you going to get it? We're teaching you how now. Okay, and then number 4 here is a little bit more of some touch practice here, right? A little bit more touching. Okay, and all you got to do is pick one of these. Again, another self-massage to your feet. You can rub your lower back. You can massage your scalp. You can hold hands with your loved one. Okay, but this is just something else that's helping us get into our rest, relaxation, and sleep. Okay, our rest, relaxation, and sleep. So this stuff is producing things in us that is medicines for the day that we just had. Okay, that's medicines for the day that we just had. So that's what you want to do and understand. Okay. All right. So that's that. And then last here is the nighttime, right? Last here is the nighttime. Half of us gonna be asleep already. So this would be between 12 p.m., right? I mean 10 to 12 a.m. That's if you still up. Okay. So this is when all of the tech go off, right? All your cell phones, all the TVs, they must be off an hour before bed. Okay. Tech must be off 1 hour before bed. It's imperative that you understand this. If you're scrolling before bed, you won't go to sleep. And if you wake up out your sleep and scroll, you won't go back to sleep. There's plenty of times where I woke up in the middle of the night, and if I don't pick up the phone, I can go back to sleep within a couple minutes. If I do pick up the phone, I can go back to sleep in a couple hours because the phone has infiltrated my melatonin. Okay? So this, when you do this, it allows for the melatonin to rise properly. Okay? Right? Secondly, you got to understand the importance of a warm shower or bath. Okay? Warm shower or bath at night is very good. It helps regulate the temperature. It helps induce the sleep. Okay? So you want to be able to take these warm showers and baths at night if possible, because that helps with the sleep. It helps induce sleep. Okay? 3, you want to be able to, again, sing yourself to sleep. That's what I call it, sleep. Sing yourself to sleep. All right. But you're just going to do this for a minute or so, right? It's going to help resonate with the vagus nerve. It's going to help slow the heart rate. It's going to help regulate the cerebral spinal fluid pressure. It's going to help clear emotional blockages. It's getting us prepared for sleep. Okay. And then lastly, what you call a prayer, we just call it gratitude reflection. Okay. Gratitude reflection. Remember that we all are absorption and reflections. So at what point of the day do you reflect? You spend so much busy absorbing, we have to reflect. This is what you call the reflection. You're learning health and you're absorbing this information, but you got to reflect it. So we're teaching you how to do this stuff, and the daily flow comes in each and every one of you guys' owner's manual. So for that funky measly $50, this is one of the sections that you get that's very important to you learning how to integrate this information into your natural life. Okay. If you guys are interested in the owner's manual, please DM us and somebody will contact you. All right. So now you got 3 to 5 things to be grateful for. If you know what those are, make sure that you're grateful for them. Okay. Positive emotions equal structured water in the brain. All right. And then sleep. Okay. Go to sleep, baby. Sleep. Okay. I want you to sleep between 8 to 12 hours. They want you to sleep between 6 to 8, 7 to 8. I want you to sleep between 8 to 12. Okay. I want you to get some deep sleep, because this is going to help the serotonin turn into melatonin. This is going to help the testosterone regeneration. This is going to help the lymphatic system detox. This is going to help repair of all the fluids. Okay, is this sleep? So we know that the sleep is important because that's when you actually repair. Okay, but look how many times I did this and I buffered my day. Look at what I did for my day. In the morning, I made sure I got light, sun, breathing, singing, laughing, and movement. In my mid-morning, I made sure I was focused. My creativity was there. I did a little micro movement, and I did some nature walking, some nature touching. Okay. In my midday, when I got my food, I did a little earthing, a little touching, grounding. I had some colorful nutrients. Okay. In the afternoon, I hydrated. Okay. I did some emotional clearing, some dancing, and some laughing. So I'm buffering what's going on with my day. Okay. In the evening, I enjoyed the sunset. I enjoyed a light dinner. I didn't do too much. I relaxed. I danced. I touched some more, and then I'm straight. And then at night, the calming, the harming, the warmth, the gratitude, and the deep sleep. All of these are buffering every day that you're going through issues and problems. Any questions? Please go ahead, and if you guys got questions, put me in the chat and we can talk about it. We'll come up on the live. If you guys got questions, put me in the chat and come up on the live and we'll talk about it. Okay. But this is what it is. This is the daily flow. Okay. And based on your birthday, this is going to look different for each and every one of us. but we get this in our owner's manual, okay? So if you're interested in the owner's manual, then that's what you're going to understand about it. If you keep hearing owner's manual, it's your first time hearing, like, what the hell, the owner's manual? Just understand that that's what we're talking about, okay? And that's what you're getting. It is going to create the balance between you and nature. It's integrating your nature with the nature of the planet. You say your live is freezing. All right. Why you let me know the live was freezing? Huh? Yo, can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Nature, I have a Himalayan bowl that I ring to decompress at work and sniff mint and eucalyptus. I'm the crazy woman at my job. It's all good. You know, you looking out for self. Though the storm keep on raging in my life, I feel like crap when I eat a heavy meal at night. Yes. All right. Let's see what's going on with this TikToking up here. Let's see what's going on with this TikToking up here. All right, you guys put some ones in the chat if y'all can hear me. Mine has been glitching a lot too. I thought it was just me. Yes, the love keeps freezing, but I do hear what you are saying. You say yes, the live keeps freezing. All right, put some ones in the chat if you guys are hear me. If we back, if we clear. Is we back, is we clear. All right, put ones in the chat if we back and we clear. Look like YouTube is good to go. Look like a lot of my people left TikTok and went to YouTube. That's why it's very good. You guys go and subscribe. Make sure that you guys can get this information, okay? Either way, I think YouTube did a good job today for us recording. So if you guys did miss it, if you guys are chopped up and you're not receiving the information clearly through the TikTok app, make sure you go to our YouTube page and go ahead and get this information. What we're teaching you today is about the daily flow, okay? The daily flow is in each and every one of you guys' owner's manual. It may look different for each and every one of us, but it is because it's based on our birthday. And at the end of the day, though, we need to learn how to integrate a lot of the information that we're hearing in our day. When you get herbs, sometimes herbs are very overwhelming. You got so many teas you got to drink, your own medications, you taking vitamins and minerals. You don't have the time in the day to consume all that stuff, all the medication they give you, all the vitamins and minerals, all the herbs, and how many times they told you to drink the tea and pop the pill. You ain't got all the time in the day. But if you learn how to integrate yourself within nature, okay? So the owner's manual is integrating your nature. It's an integration of your nature within nature. Okay, the owner's manual is an integration. It's a guide that allows you, helps you integrate your nature within nature. But you don't know your nature and you don't know nature. So we come on here to learn on the HerbMan show. We learn nature to know our nature. Okay, and what I'm trying to tell you is that some of you guys don't know your nature. So why would I take your advice about what you need? So we need for you to be a little bit more knowledgeable about yourself, and then we can start to take your diagnosis, your prognosis of what you got going on in your life. And that's very easy and simple thing to do. Some of us do know our bodies, but a lot of us don't know how to still get over the root cause. You got a lot of women and men that know their body, but they still are dealing with an issue. Okay, and so how do you get over it? You got to get down deep into what causing it, and it ain't always where it's at is what it is. Okay, it's not always that where it's at is what it is. You got a little bump on your knee, but it might come from somewhere else. Okay, so you guys got to understand that you need a guide. So you need something that can help you know you better, and then figure out how now that you know yourself. You can't come in and try to be dominant, but how can you come in with all that knowledge of self and integrate yourself in with everybody else? Instead of you trying to be better than somebody, instead of you trying to have more than somebody, instead of you trying to do more than somebody, how can you just come in and know your own tendencies, know your nature, and just integrate that within nature itself? That's really the true question. Okay, and that's what we're solving with the owner's manual. All right, gospel songs will set you up for failure. Hey, if that's what you want to call it, like I said, sometimes those songs will motivate you. A lot of times, what I find is that they're very heavy. Okay, and I don't need all that heaviness before I'm trying to be productive. I need to be lighter if I'm going to be productive, and so I need more of a spunkier, more energetic than something coming and really trying to control the emotions that way. Right. So that's all I'm saying. But again, some people can hear those slow songs and feel energized. I can't. Okay. I can't. Anybody else got any other questions? Right before we get up out of here, we got 45 more minutes. I know that the live was messing up, you guys. I apologize for that. We have some technical difficulties over here. Again, if you didn't get the information, go to YouTube. It'll be there. All right. But the daily flow is in your owner's manual. Now, I have people asking me about high blood pressure. Okay. If you're dealing with high blood pressure, all right, all you got to do is DM us, and that package is $35. Okay. If you're dealing with high blood sugar, okay, diabetes, that package is $35. DM us and we'll get you what you need. Okay. If you're dealing with cancer blends, okay, cancer, most of those are going to be $50. Okay. If you need one of those blends, you holler at us and we'll get you that. If you're dealing with arthritis, okay, that package is $35. Okay, DM me and we'll get you that. And all of this stuff, okay, all of these are 30-day supplies. So that means that you're going to get at least 2 ounces. Okay, you're going to get 2 ounces of this. This is 2 ounces. This is 2 ounces. This is going to be between 4 to 5 ounces. This is 2 ounces. Okay. So you get all of these things. Also, the blend for your owner's manual is $35. Okay. 30-day supply. Right. So if you're interested in these products, you can do it. You can DM us and we'll get you what you need. All right. If you're dealing with reproductive issues, $35. Okay. So only the cancer blends are going to be $50. And the detox, the lymphatic detox, if you guys are looking for a lymphatic cleanse, okay, a lymphatic cleanse is going to help you cough it up, right? So we're going to get you to cough it up, sweat it out. Okay. I think that's how you spell it. Defecate and urinate it out. Okay. Cough it up, sweat it out, defecate it, and urinate it out is the detox. Okay. And it's a 21-day detox for $50. You can't beat it. It comes with instructions. All right. And this is going to be the really beginning part to your health and wellness. Okay. A lot of you guys can just do the detox and it'll cure your high blood pressure. A lot of you guys can just do the detox and it'll cure your high blood sugar. Okay. So if you want to detox the blood sugar and the blood pressure where you can, or if you're just trying to go for the high blood pressure, high blood sugar blends, you can. Now, the difference is the detox, you done. Okay. The blends are treatment. So you're just going to be doing that like taking pills, right? Because you ain't trying to change your life, right? If you're trying to change your life, you get the owner's manual. If you're trying to change your situation, we got products for you. But there is no panacea product. There's only a panacea program. And the owner's manual is the top nature-based health assessment on the planet. Okay? Top health-based, and all we use is 13 herbs, okay? So these are the 13 herbs, okay? We only use 13 herb system, Okay. We use 13 herb system because we're going off nature based. We're going off your birthday. So we only use 13 of the herbs because we've done the research. Now I know over 250 herbs like the back of my hand, but these 13 is what we've done the research on to know that this is all anybody really needs. Okay. Really, honestly, you need 13 powerful herbs, and then you need to be able to concoct them in different ways, right? So some of these blends are going to be 8 herbs in them. Some of these blends I have 7. Some of these blends I have 12. But you got a 13 herb system, and you're knowing exactly what's in those 13 herbs. So we know what herbs got the sodium and the potassium and the chloride and the fluoride and the magnesium and the phosphates and the sulfates. We know what herbs got the iron and the iodine and all the stuff you need, the manganese and everything that the selenium and the silica and all of the intricate trace minerals as well as the vital minerals. We know those 13 herbs and what they need now, baby, because we got a system. We're not just throwing out at the wind. I'm not reading Dr. Laila Africa books and copying his things and then saying I'm a herbalist. I'm not reading Dr. Sebi books. I'm not getting a book off TikTok and saying that I'm a herbalist from somebody else's stuff. There's no author, there's no herbalist out there that is doing this particular 13 herb system but me. I didn't learn this from somebody, but somebody's gonna learn it from me. Okay, so there you go. And then you move it on and you evolve and you keep pushing this information forward. But you guys can't go around me for this. If y'all want to learn this, you got to come straight through HerbMan Inc. Okay, you got to come straight to HerbMan Inc. Okay, and I can teach herbalists the system just as well as I can teach a mama or a father, a mother or father who's just trying to caretake for their family. It doesn't matter. The bottom line is you must know thyself. And your children are different from you. They got different tendencies, and some things are hereditary tendencies that they may have gained from you. But you must know those things, because if you don't, these children will run right into these tendencies without knowing how to circumvent them because they don't have any direction. Okay, and remember that obstructions is obstructing what? Instructions. Your instructions is your navigations. Your instructions is your directions. So when you are blocking the light, when you are blocking, when you have obstructions to the instructions, then it's very easy to get lost. It's very easy to feel confused, and it's very easy to feel distraught, and it's very easy to want to tap out of this particular life plane. Okay. But when you're able to download instructions and there's really no obstructory thing going on, man, look, if you get sick, you can find the answer. They diagnosed me with autoimmune disease called ulcerative colitis. Okay, so I got clear-minded. When I got clear-minded, I started to look and search for how I could cure myself. They said, you can't cure autoimmune disease. You can't cure ulcerative colitis. You're going to have to take medications for the rest of your life. First of all, I've never took a medication. Second of all, that's been since 2013. Last time I seen blood and all this shit in my stool. All I did was learn, took herbs for 2 months. Some of you guys just got to do it. You got to take the herbs for 2 months. Change your diet, change your life, change your perspective, and voila, the blood stopped. It ceased. I ain't took medication. Is it still there? Is it gone? It's gone. Because the symptoms I was having is gone. How? What medication you took to get rid of ulcerative colitis, lupus, Crohn's disease? I didn't take none. I took herbs and changed my perspective on life. And I'm here as a living witness, still breathing, without ever taking medications for ulcerative colitis or autoimmune disease. So you can't tell me you can't do this. I'm not only the client, I'm also the president of this information. Okay? Do you have a website? Always got a website, Melissa. This ain't my first rodeo, okay? We're not kids in the basement on social media trying to get some money from you, okay? So I am tried and true, all right? So this is it right here, tried and true, baby. All right, go to the website. I got a little hole in my shirt. Y'all be okay because I work for a living. Yeah, y'all talking about. I work for a living. Yeah, y'all talking about. You see that? That's the website, okay? We've been doing this for a long time, you guys. Go and do what you got to go do. We had a herb shop in Conyers, Georgia, for approximately almost 5 years. Okay, I had a couple businesses. Almost 5 years in Conyers, Georgia. One of the fastest growing herbalists on the planet. One of the fastest growing on YouTube and social media. Everything is organic. Okay, so I got damn near 50,000 followers on TikTok organically. I ain't paying for shit. I'm just waking up every day, talking to you guys, being a lighthouse. And for those who need me, they'll come to the lighthouse. Okay, and for those that don't, they're gonna bypass the lighthouse, and it's okay. Okay. Yes, I got a family to feed. Yes, I want to do things in life, but I will not ever taint that, right? I won't ever taint the message due to my own wants, needs, and desires. You guys still deserve the truth. You guys still need to know that this stuff is simple, it's affordable, and it's effective. Okay. And so if you guys are interested in your owner's manual, please DM us and we'll get you that information. How do you become a successful herbalist? You have to know nature like the back of your hand. Okay. Don't try to be no herbalist. Okay. That's how you're going to become a successful herbalist, is don't pinhole just being an herbalist. Anybody could herb deal. Anybody could sell herbs, but do you love plants? Do you love the earth? Do you love nature? Are you proactive with that? Are you conservative in your efforts to nature? Do you understand preservation when you're talking about nature? So you just can't come in here and be a herbalist. Ain't doing nothing but making money. You ain't doing nothing but selling dope. You selling drugs. You're a herbalist. You selling herbs, just like the dude on the corner. Why do that? Why just sell herbs? Hell no. You'll never be impactful. So now you ask me a successful herbalist, anybody can sell herbs. But an impactful herbalist, you got to know more than herbs. Okay? There's so many people that are herbalists, right? But they're not impactful. So you don't hear about them. So you got to be impactful. Now, there are some people who are very good salesmen and very good articulators, and they get a lot of their people that way. I ain't the best articulator and I ain't the best entertainer. But what I am very good at is I'm the purest when it comes to the heart. The reason why you're doing it, that's why I cut off all the flack. I cut off all the fat around the meat. So I could have came on here and said, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got done did this and did that and boot, and I can add the fat on and I can put on the clothes and I can look like and put on the cosmetics and put on the costume and add the degrees and I can add all this to me and add all the fluff and the fat so that you can so I can charge you a whole bunch of money to even consider me, right? I can do that, but why? That's the question, why? Man, cause shit, boy, you gotta make some money out of this motherfucker, man. You can't, what you going to business for? You got cause I ain't going to business. I went into ministry. I had a business. Okay, I went into ministry. So I'm gonna give you more than you could ever give me. But we need to understand that simplicity, affordability, and effectiveness is for each and every one of us, no matter the skin color, no matter our language barrier, no matter what we look like in gender. This is for all of us. And when the last time have you ever heard something that's for all of us? So, man, look, I love you guys. It's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Please go tell somebody to go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan. I do apologize again for the technical difficulties, you guys. Please go to YouTube. There was nothing wrong with the YouTube, so you can go there and pick up this message. The Daily Flow, how to integrate what you're hearing, listening to, and feeling into your everyday, how to make your job move over, how to make your spouse move over, how to make your life move over so that you can get the most out of it. This is what we were teaching you today. These are also the things that you'll find in your owner's manual. If you guys are interested in that, DM me and we'll get you that information. Until next time. Peace. Who's that? Yes, sir.